Hello everyone, hope you all are doing great. Welcome to a new chapter of academic writing. This is me Sufna Sivia from the Department of English, Carmel College, Mala. Today we are going to discuss the fifth unit of academic writing, vocabulary and grammar for academic writing. Revising words and sentences. When you are writing something, you are making a permanent impression upon your readers. So it is necessary to take extra care to avoid mistakes in your writing. If you make mistakes in your conversation, you can immediately correct it saying sorry. But when you submit an assignment or when you are writing an article with faulty sentences or inappropriate vocabulary, you may not be able to retrieve your work and correct it. So inappropriately written works reflects on the quality of your education. So it is necessary to understand the ways to revise your paper. Every formal written work needs revision and editing prior to submission or publication. So there are some ways to ensure that you are following the right academic writing style. First one, ensure that your vocabulary is appropriate to your purpose. You are using the right kind of vocabulary. Second one, avoid using conversational style and colloquial and slang expressions and non-standard diction. Third one, diversify your sentences. Use sentences varying in length, word order and types. Eliminate redundant expressions and avoid wordy sentences. You know what is a redundant word? An unnecessary word. If you are saying it is really beautiful, you don't have to use the word really. It is a redundant word, unnecessary word. So when you write something in the academic field, you have to avoid such unnecessary words in your paper. Use parallelism. So you know what is parallelism? It is the repetition of same grammatical form in two or more parts of a sentence. So when you write a piece of academic writing, you have to follow the same grammatical pattern or grammatical form throughout the writing. Maintain the tense. Along with the grammatical pattern, you need to follow the same tense throughout the writing. If you are writing the first sentence in the present tense, then you are switching into past tense, then again going back to present tense, that wouldn't sound too good for a piece of academic writing. So you need to stick on to, or you need to maintain the tense of the piece of writing. Remove weak phrases and use strong verbs instead. Vocabulary in academic writing. Among the various factors that help you maintain the formal nature of your academic work, the selection of words is crucial. Your sentences are to be precise and clear, and they should not contain any unnecessary words. However, while avoiding overstating or exaggerating, you have to be careful not to understate or downplay something important. There are some guidelines for choosing the right vocabulary or right words for academic writing. First one, familiarize yourself with the words listed in Academic Word List or AWL to achieve the desired formal structure, seriousness, tone and standard. So we will go in detail about AWL, but when you write something in the academic field, you need to refer to this Academic Word List. Second one, avoid informal words and expressions. When you talk to someone, when you talk to your friend, you may use a lot of informal expressions. But when you write something in a serious manner, in a serious tone, you need to avoid all such colloquial terms, slang expressions, etc. Use discourse markers to link your ideas. You know what a discourse marker is? It's a word or phrase that plays an important role in managing the flow and structure of a sentence or of a discourse. It is more like a connective. It is used to connect different sentences. So you need to include discourse markers to maintain the flow and structure of your discourse or your writing. Make your writing less wordy. You don't have to include a lot of words in order to make your writing effective. Make it brief and make it effective. Academic Word List or AWL. The high frequency word in academic works in English language are referred to as AWL. It is basically a list of words, that is the frequently used words in academic writing. It doesn't include technical terms pertaining to disciplines. So it contains a lot of words from different disciplines, but it doesn't contain any technical terms that is specific to any particular subject. It doesn't contain any technical terms from botany, zoology, or any particular subject. Different dictionaries like Oxford Advanced Learners Dictionary and Cambridge Learners Dictionary have brought out their own list of frequently found words in academic text. So all these dictionaries came out with a long list of words that are frequently used in academic writing. Words and phrases to be avoided in academic writing. First one, contracted forms. That is, when you write something, you may use can't or isn't or doesn't or won't. You can't use these contracted forms in an academic writing piece of paper or academic piece of writing. Informal verbs or phrasal verbs. You may use a lot of phrasal verbs when you talk to someone, or in an informal discourse. You may use a lot of informal words like go on, put off, find out, or things like that. But when you write something serious, you have to avoid all such phrasal verbs and informal verbs. Intensifiers, emphasis words, and words and phrases indicating quantity. So you may use a bit, a lot of food, or a couple of times, or a sort of, not enough, totally, really. These are some of the emphasis words or words or phrases indicating quantity. So you need to avoid all such kind of expressions when you are writing something serious. Informal transitions like so, anyways, but, also, plus, well, to sum up, all right. So all these expressions are okay when you are talking to someone who is so close to you, or when you are giving a lecture. You can use all these things to make it interesting. But when you are writing something serious, you need to avoid all such informal transitions. You have to include connecting words, but you have to avoid such informal transitions. Next one, first person and second person point of view. So, I, me, us, we, you, your. You have to avoid all these first person and second person narrative. You have to state things in an objective manner. You don't have to say, I like it very much, or we like it very much, we enjoyed it a lot. So we don't have to include such first person or second person point of view in an academic piece of writing. Next one, run-on expressions like etc., so on, and so forth. These are considered something inappropriate in an academic writing paper. So you don't have to use all these run-on expressions when you're writing something serious. Next one, unsophisticated and too simple expressions like bad. It is very bad. You can't use such a sentence in an academic piece of writing. Bad, good, big, nice, it's very nice, or it's very cheap. These are some of the unsophisticated or too simple expressions. So you can't have all these things in a serious paper. When you are writing a journal for an article for a journal, you can't use all these terms. Words indicating absolute quantities like all, every. So there is nothing wrong in it, but it is not the right style. You have to avoid, if you can avoid, definitely you should avoid all such words, like words which indicate the absolute quantities like all, every. Next one, superlatives, the best, worst, most, always, never. So better you avoid all these superlative degree of words. Expressions usually found in letters, for example, hi, cheers, love, best wishes, best regards, yours affectionately, yours truly. These are some of the expressions we usually use in letters. But when you write something serious, you have to avoid all these expressions. Next one, common abbreviations, ASAP, as soon as possible, or okay, TV, net, cell for cell phone, net for internet. So all these are common abbreviations. Everybody can understand what it means, but you need to avoid all these abbreviations when you write something, when you're writing something serious. Slang expressions like dude, hi dude, cool, yeah, guy, kidding, cop, bugger, bucks, nop, chap. These kind of words, these are slang expressions, and you need to avoid all these slang expressions in a piece of writing. Cliched expressions. Next one is cliched expressions. Like last but not the least. This is a cliche. When you listen to a word of thanks, you would listen to this word, last but not the least. So you have to avoid all these cliched expressions. Time will tell, in a jiffy, brave as a lion, fit as a fiddle, frightened to death. So all these are cliched expressions, so we don't have to use these expressions anymore. Highly subjective expressions, for example, beautiful, ugly, wonderful, horrible, good or bad. So all these are subjective opinions. For me, it is wonderful. For you, it might not be wonderful, or it might not be ugly. So it's completely subjective opinion or subjective expression, beautiful or ugly or wonderful. So you need to avoid all these expressions. Next one is vague and impolite expressions like thing, stuff, sort of, kind of. These are impolite expressions. We may use it when we communicate with each other in an oral mode, a kind of. We may use that kind of words. But when you write something, these words are regarded as something impolite. Ethnic slurs or racist expressions like nigger for negro. You don't have to abuse someone saying a particular name or something. Like colored, Eskimos, Yankees, Madrasis, Gypsies. So you need to avoid all these racist expressions like referring to a particular race. Discriminatory words associated with physical and mental disability like handicapped, crippled, autistic, deaf and dumb, idiot, imbecile, and insane. So all these words you can avoid all these words in your writing. And next one, words that are not gender specific like policeman, gunman, fireman, chairman. So you can avoid all these gender specific, that are not words which are not gender specific. Approximations like nearly, almost, about, around, roughly, sooner or later. So you can avoid all these approximations. Texting language, as I already told you, ASAP, like as soon as possible, like so all these things are BTW for between. You may use for texting texting someone. When you write texting someone, you can use all these abbreviations. But when you're writing something, you have to follow some rules and regulations. So you need to avoid this texting language, especially when you are writing your exams. You need to avoid all these texting vocabulary. Non-standard diction, for example, wanna or ain't or theirself or hisself or anyways, a lot, alright. So all these are non-standard diction. You can understand the thing, but it is not proper to use them in an academic piece of writing. Avoid using filler words, expressions, or expressions and empty phrases. For example, just, so. It is important to note the fact that, needless to say, all these are empty words or filler words. You have to avoid all these filler words. Redundant phrases like absolutely, essential, or actual facts, advance warning. So all these are unnecessary. You don't have to use these kind of redundant phrases. Excessive use of qualifiers. You have to avoid the excessive use of qualifiers like it appears, it seems, it indicates, it suggests, may, might, could, maybe, might have been, may have been, many, most, some, numerous, countless. These are qualifiers. You can use them, but you don't have to stick on to the excessive use of qualifiers. You can use them if it is quite necessary. absolutes like every, none, no, never, certainly, impossible. All these are absolute expressions. So you can avoid all these absolute expressions. Last one, expressions showing. Expressions showing personal judgment. For example, I agree, I'm convinced that, I'm sure that, I believe, I disagree, I dislike, I feel, I like, I think. So all these are personal opinion or personal judgment. I like it in this way, or I agreed, or I disagree with this. So it's my personal opinion. You don't have to include your personal opinion when you are writing something serious. You are not talking to your friends. You are talking, or you are addressing a group of heterogeneous people. They also have got some kind of opinion or idea. So you don't have to express your opinion or your ideas in a piece of writing. So you have to avoid such personal judgment or personal opinions when you are writing something serious. So with this, we can wind up today's class. Thank you. Have a good day.